in this project, what we're going to be dealing with is we're going to be removing this popcorn texture right here. And as you can see, it's probably a fine to a medium grit texture. So a lot of homes that were especially built in the 80s have these up there. They're great for the builders to spray up there because it hides all the imperfections, and you only have to tape like once or twice, and you spray that up there and it hides a lot of the blemishes and unevenness of the ceilings. But they're not too popular these days, and a lot of people would like to remove them. So what we're dealing here with is a unpainted popcorn ceiling. So when they sprayed this up there, it was never top coated after that, and that's going to make a huge difference when trying to remove it here. So when I take my finger up here, and this is just a good way to test, is just rub your finger, and if anything comes off, if it comes off like dust, as you can see right there, it just wipes right off, then that is gonna let you know that you can remove it. But if this was painted over, especially with like an oil-based primer, it's going to be very difficult to remove, because you just won't be able to sand through it, and especially if they rolled it out first with an oil-based primer to lock in the popcorn. Then they have the top coat on top of that, so now you're dealing with an oil-based primer with multiple top coats on top of it, and you're not going to be able to get through that. But here, we're not dealing with that. It's unpainted, and it's going to come off. And there's a few different ways on how to remove this. You can dry scrape it, which creates a lot of dust. That would work here. You can wet scrape it, which is you get like a pump sprayer and fill it with hot water and you spray it all down, then get up there and then scrape it off. That'll work too. Just make sure to cover the floor, because that will make a huge mess too. And another method is to use this drywall sander that I have right here. This is a Porter Cable Drywall Sander, and it's a few years old. I think that they came out with a new model. But this is the Porter Cable 7800 model, and this is great because it has this sanding disc here, and then it has this brush on like the outside, which kind of captures or contains the dust, and it sucks it up through here into this hose. And this has a long, like 12-foot hose, and it goes into this dust collector here. And you can use this for a drywall too. So this is just great because it removes a lot of it, and it has this long pole here. Now this is only good. This is going to get a bulk of it, but this is only going to come to within like half of an inch of the corners. So you're gonna, after you're done sanding this, you're gonna have to go around and treat all the corners accordingly with like a 4-inch blade. So we're gonna get started here. I'm gonna start in this corner up here and work my way across and down the room here. So to turn this on here, there's a button right there, and this is gonna turn this on here. And this actually has a plug in it, because this sander here it needs to be plugged in, and it's great because it just plugs right into there. So once that's on here, and always remember to wear a mask too, because this will suck up a majority of the dust, but there still will be some dust that doesn't get sucked up in there. So I'm going to put my mask on, and then I'm going to start it right here, and then Okay, so I just got a majority of it sanded off here. Now, what I did was I left an area right here, so you can actually tell this has been sanded around here, and this is the old stuff there. So I just want the camera to be able to see how much the sander takes down of the texture. Okay, and as you can see, it only gets to like a half an inch or an inch into the corners, which is fine. And basically what you want to do for that is we'll do a test area right up here. You always want to use your mask here, but all you do is just scrape it into the corner there. And you do it like this too, and that's your sanding. Okay, so, and one thing to be careful of is the corners are taped, so if you're gouging hard into the corners, you could gouge into the tape, which is probably like right here. So just be careful not to gouge in too hard, and you just want to remove as much of the head of the texture as possible here. So now you can either leave the ceilings just like this here and prime and paint them, or if you really want them to be perfectly smooth, you're going to have to skim coat the ceilings. And what that means is you have to apply mud over the entire surface of the ceiling, and you're going to have to do at least 2 coats to ensure that it's perfectly smooth. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff right here, and then we'll be back in the next episode to start to skim coat. So until the next time.